Hi, my name is Genesis Macias, and the topic I decided to talk about is race and sentencing and how someone's race can affect their sentence. And this is actually my second time recording this because my first video was 19 minutes long. I got a little too off topic, so let's give this another go. So, one of the biggest sentencing issues in the nation is racial disparity, and this boils down to one race versus the other, the difference between races and how one race can get a harsher sentence than the other. The most popular form of it is Black versus white. More than 60% of all people incarcerated are now racial and ethnic minorities, and a minority is any group that is viewed differently for their cultural views. It can be African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, Hindus, Muslims, basically any group that isn't a white American. For Black males in their 30s, 1 in 10 are in prison or in jail on any given day. Black men are more than 6 times as likely as white men to be incarcerated, and Hispanics are 3 times as likely as white men to be incarcerated. Also, Black women are more likely to be incarcerated than white women. I hate having to say that, but it's the sad truth of the matter. Black men are also serving sentences that are 20% longer than those compared to white men for similar crimes. And when I read this, what I'm about to say next, when I read it in the book, I couldn't believe it. The percentage of Black people incarcerated today is higher than the percentage at the dawn of the civil rights era, the civil rights era. And it's very sad to think of that, because you would think that with time it would get better, but it's actually getting worse. Black men are getting arrested more. Black men are serving longer sentences. Black men are they're treated so differently, as well as other people of color. But when you boil it down, it's mostly against Black men. And I hate saying that, but it's the sad truth. I wanted to talk about a quick little case. I'll try not to run too long with it, but I mentioned earlier how Black men are serving sentences 20% longer than white men for similar crimes. I want to talk about this one case of Brock Turner. And I don't know if you don't know who Brock Turner is. He is a white male who raped somebody, but was not charged with rape. He was found raping an intoxicated and unconscious woman, and he was arrested and then released on bail, and then the whole process went on, and he was dropped of all rape charges and instead was convicted on sexual assault, and prosecutors recommended 6 years in prison. But instead, Brock Turner only served 6 months in the county jail, and followed by 3 years probation. He raped somebody, and he only served 6 months. But when this happened, it was all over social media. It was all over Twitter. I use Twitter a lot. And I remember people saying, if Brock Turner was a Black man, if Brock Turner was a Hispanic man, he would be in prison. He would be serving time in prison. But since Brock Turner was not a person of color, he was just a white man, he only served 6 months and basically got away with what he did. He wasn't even charged with rape. He was charged with sexual assault. And it baffles me. It really does baffle me. In the book, it says, despite years of effort to reduce racial bias in the justice system, sentencing disparities still exists and remains a stain on the court system. And this is their way of saying that racism is still very much alive in the court system, in the criminal justice system. Racism is very, very active, very alive. Its roots are very deep in the criminal justice system, in the court system, and a lot needs to be done. A lot more needs to be done to get to the root, to get those problems out, because racial bias, racial disparity, sentencing disparity, it should not exist in the court system. We are created equal. I know you've heard that before. We are created equal. If we are created equal, why is this going on? Why is this a thing? Why are Black men, Hispanic men, why are any people of color being punished more than the white man? What makes a white man different from a Black man besides the color of their skin? We are equal, and we need to be treated equally. And I really think that this shouldn't be happening. You know, the sentencing disparity shouldn't even exist. There should be no racial bias. Your race should not be a factor in determining your sentence. It should not. And it sucks how it is 2018 and the percentage of Black men incarcerated is higher than it was in 1960. It needs to get better. I want people of color to be treated better in the court system. I shouldn't even want this. It should already be done. This should not be happening. And I just hope that by the time I start working in the criminal justice system, it's at least a little better. But only time will tell, I guess. But you can only hope. And more effort needs to be done. More effort needs to be put into solving this problem, because racism has no place in the criminal justice system, in the court system. And that's all I have to say on this matter. So thank you.